Welcome back in, friends, as we do another edition, name brand and off brand. Would you rather go and buy the Gucci, or are you good with the Levi's from Walmart? Me personally, I'm always a Levi's guy. But as we get into it today, Adam, we're going to look at one Dalvin Cook and one Aaron Jones. And for whatever reason, maybe in redraft they're a lot closer, but in Dynasty, we're still looking at guys that are a couple rounds apart in startups. And I really don't think that they should be that far apart. Adam, you got any opening thoughts on this before we dive into the actual numbers? Aaron Jones versus Dalvin Cook. I really think they're almost identical players as far as fantasy production would go.
Yeah, I think too, Mike, you know, the Green Bay offense will be interesting this year to see how this works. Devontae Adams leaving, that's a big piece for Aaron Rodgers. And I think it might be understated in the Dynasty community at least. Maybe now as we approach this redraft mindset, people are still hip to Aaron Jones. But, man, on the contending side, do not do this man any disservice as far as how good he's been, Mike. And I think the other thing, too, is, like, when you look at the running back position last year he was number 10 in target share.
Ooh.
At running back. And you're telling me Devontae Adams is gone. And they replaced him with nothing, being Lazard, right? It was already there. And Christian Watson. Sammy Watkins.
And Romeo
Doubs. Let me not spit in the face of the legend, Romeo Doubs, right?
Let's not do that.
Number 6 in receptions, Mike. I think that number goes up. Total touchdowns, 10. That was 8th. I think that number could go up. Mike, like, even in efficiency, yards created, top 10. Yards created per touch, number 9. Production premium, number 3. And this guy should get more work as a receiver, too. The valuable touches. I think that's something I wanted to highlight before we get into when we actually go over the numbers here.
I don't want to be completely dismissive of Dalvin Cook because they are supposed to open that offense up. It's supposed to be more explosive, not the old ground and pound. We always think about it, man, if they're not going to run the ball as much without Mike Zimmer there, how's that really a good thing for Dalvin Cook? Well, if the offense is better as a whole, if it's more efficient, if it's more explosive, if there's more scoring opportunities, that's a good thing. Dalvin Cook has more opportunities to fall in the end zone. But, Adam, we're looking at RB9, the 309 pick for Dalvin Cook in ADP for last month, and Aaron Jones, the 506, RB17. And I don't know, am I crazy to think that these two guys may have the same shelf life remaining as a relevant dynasty running back? Like, no. I don't look at my Dalvin Cook shares much past this year. I really don't.
You should.
And I do the same for Aaron Jones. So, Adam, let's dive into the numbers. Let's look at it from last year's perspective. Did they really outproduce one another? Did one guy have a big edge somewhere? So we'll start off week 1. Dalvin Cook, RB6, Aaron Jones, RB51. Not great, Bob. Not great. Week 2, Aaron Jones, the RB2 overall. Right? Talk about bouncing back in a big way. I was RB51 last week. Fuck that. We're going to number 2.
Hopefully you didn't panic on Aaron Jones week 1.
Dalvin Cook, RB14. Week 3. Now, this is going to be a common theme for one Dalvin Cook and one thing that frustrates Dalvin Cook managers in Dynasty or in redraft too. Dalvin Cook didn't play. Aaron Jones, RB16. Week 4, Dalvin Cook was RB47. Aaron Jones, RB24. Week 5, Aaron Jones, RB23. Dalvin Cook, again, did not play. Week 6, Dalvin Cook, RB8. Aaron Jones, RB10. Very similar there. Week 7, Aaron Jones, RB32. But again, Dalvin Cook did not play. Week 8, Aaron Jones, again, another splash week, what we like to call spike weeks, RB4. Dalvin Cook, RB39. Week 9, Aaron Jones, 46. Dalvin Cook, 13. Week 10, Aaron Jones, 20. Dalvin Cook, 8. Now, week 11, Dalvin Cook, RB8. Aaron Jones did not play. The similarities of these two is astounding sometimes. Week 12, Aaron Jones was RB62. Dalvin Cook came in at RB16. Week 13, both did not play. Pretty easy that week. Week 14. Finally, we get a splash week from Dalvin Cook, RB1. Adam, was that the famous title of Ike and Gene's podcast, Off the Line Fantasy Football? Go check it out. Was it like Dalvin Cook Vibranium Shoulder, if I remember
Vibranium
right,
shoulder. Yes,
against the Steelers?
That's a title you'll never forget. The Vibranium shoulder.
That's off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. I did not have anything. I did not pre-load that. That title stuck in my head so much because it's such a good title, Vibranium Shoulder. So Dalvin Cook was RB1, Aaron Jones RB8. Week 15, Aaron Jones was RB13, Dalvin Cook 23. Week 16, Dalvin Cook did not play. Aaron Jones got you an RB19 week. Week 17, championship week, Dalvin Cook, RB49, but Aaron Jones, not that much better, RB21, and Week 18, nobody cares about, but Dalvin Cook was RB31. Aaron Jones did not play at all. So to end totals, spike weeks, Dalvin Cook, 1, Mr. Vibranium Shoulder Week. Aaron Jones got you 2, above average, or what I like to call consistent weeks. Aaron Jones had 6. Dalvin Cook had 8, so he does edge him out there a little bit as far as consistency goes. And then with our model, the way it's weighted, 9.33 for a score for Dalvin Cook and 8.66 for Mr. Aaron Jones. So both of these guys, Adam, very, very, very close in scoring. You talked about it heading in. Like, we think we're going to get a bigger year from Aaron Jones. You just have to, with the way that state of the offense is. And one thing I always wanted to point out about Aaron Jones is without Davante Adams, man, go look at the splits. They are ridiculous. The splits of what Aaron Jones does without Davante Adams in the lineup. So, looking at Adam, do you think there's any justification in Dynasty for everything that we said for there to be a 2-round discount from Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook?
Slight discount, maybe. 2 rounds, no. I would say this, man. I think what's interesting, I'll admit, I think there's a chance if he stays healthy, and that's a big if. I think we need to be realistic about Dalvin Cook's injuries. And you may look at if you just look at the game logs the last few years, you'll see he's missed a few games each of these last few seasons. But what it doesn't account for is games he's banged up, games he leaves and comes back, or vice versa. And this is a guy that seems to always be dealing with this injury bug and is getting older. 1. 2, I think Dalvin Cook has this, people have this idea of him as this, like you would think the spike weeks with the idea of Dalvin Cook are more than 1. You'd think this guy, he can go off any week. He's had some good weeks, he's had 4 top 10s. But inside the top 5, Mike, he only gave you 1 week last year.
I know.
Aaron Jones beat him in the spike weeks. I think the conception is the opposite, that Dalvin Cook actually has this crazy spike week, but his floor is worse. It's funny because when you look at the numbers, when you really look at them, the opposite's true. Like Aaron Jones gave you more spikes week, but didn't have the floor. And I think now, listen, they're both similar aged, right? The draft capital is different for Dalvin Cook, but at this point, Aaron Jones' role is so far secure from the draft capital that no longer matters. So when I look at these two, Mike, I think realistically, based on what the offenses project, Aaron Jones is going to be in for a bigger role this year. I think you should expect more from him. I think the thing with Dalvin Cook, though, Mike, is this. The one case for Dalvin Cook is if they open the offense up more and he does stay healthy, I think the spike weeks have a chance to go up some. But the discount and the price, when you look at, once again, this is the whole name of the show, name brand, off brand. Like, what would you need to go to the off brand here?
Man, I almost want them equally, right? If I'm thinking about my redraft teams, I have them neck and neck. I thought Dalvin Cook's a little bit overrated and Aaron Jones is underrated for 1 year. I'm thinking about my contenders, man. I think you can almost ask for a first. But geez, man, you give me a second or a couple seconds, you can have my Dalvin Cook. I'll go down to Aaron Jones all day long. No questions asked.
I'm with you. I think too, right now, right? You kind of hit it on the head. I think there's probably a scenario where in your leagues you can get a first. If you can get a first, I'm doing that every single day of the week, no questions asked. Now, if this is in the market of your league, because every league's dynamics are different. If you can't get a full first, Mike, I think what I'm doing is like I'm looking for that player in that like Ayuk range, right? That some guys think aren't a true first in value, but as a contender, I want them, and in Dynasty, I really want them because of the youth.
I would love to do that for some of my favorite guys down in that range. So we talked about Ayuk. We have him ranked pretty high, but we can acknowledge where the value actually, where people are taking him and where they're valuing him at. But I'll give you a couple other names that I like just as tack-ons, because if I'm talking like it being that close for me, where like they're almost in same tier. If I just looking at this as a 1-2 year window team, what about a Kadarius Toney or Chase Claypool?
Yep.
Guys we love the talents of. Maybe the situation's not the greatest, but geez, just give them me on my roster as like a toss-in. I'm getting these dudes as add-ins, and I'm not losing much in the running back. I might even be gaining with the way that the Packers are going to use Aaron Jones this year. I'm in. I'm in. The one thing that I have a hang up with Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones is the different styles of uses, right? We think about getting Aaron Jones in space and Green Bay utilizing him in more of a pass catching role and letting AJ Dillon do more of the tough yardage, the inside the tackles runs. Not that Aaron Jones can't do it, but getting him more involved in space. Where Dalvin Cook has kind of always been that guy who's the bell cow, and that's what's been great about having him in Dynasty and using him in fantasy football. But it's also one of the detriments that you mentioned with him getting banged up all of the time because he is getting the ball way too much sometimes and not getting schemed open in space. So Aaron Jones, man, that's why I have him so close. I will definitely side with the off-brand on this one. You guys let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, comment away. Where are you at? Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, and if you're looking at it, does it change if you're thinking about maybe 2 years out or just 1 year? Or is it the exact same opinion that you have either way? Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, let us know what you want. Do you want the name brand, the off-brand for the price? Adam, anything else before we bounce out of here, big guy?
We touched on it, man. I think you need to explore the downs here. Mike and I, if you keep coming in and tuning in, whether it's name brand, off brand, AMA, 40 chess, it doesn't matter. Name brand, off brand, this show needs to be conceptualized for you. We're going to talk about tear downs all the time. There's going to be points where the tear down is too far. You shouldn't do it. But if you're getting a tear down where the production has a very good chance to be the same here, take the plus. Take the Toney. Take the Ayuk. If you can get it, absolutely get the first. Another successful name brand, off brand in the books. We appreciate you tapping in. Don't worry, we'll be back next week.
Love it. Next week will be the final because after that, we got full NFL schedule on our plates. So next Thursday when it comes out, you can enjoy the final name brand, off brand. And then that night, go watch you some real NFL football, baby. That's going to do it for us. We're going to bounce out of here. Peace.
Peace.